YouTube, and as promised, I am going to go ahead and do a paint tutorial on a Soviet infantry World War II Red Army soldier. So I have already built this soldier and I spray painted it with some tan, so it's all ready to go to be painted. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. I am using, for my bulk outfit paint, the Japanese uniform, the World War II. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to go from the inside out, working our way out, going for places that we can't normally get because of like his arm and the rifle and all that kind of stuff that we don't want to try to get back and put detail on later because it's hard to get to. So we're working from the inside out. Always remember that, especially when you're painting yours. That way you'll save yourself the heartache. And we always want to make this as easy as we possibly can and enjoy ourselves. I mean, you could probably, if you even wanted to, get away with just spraying it tan and leaving that as your outfit shade. But this looks a little closer to what the uniforms would have looked like back then. It seems to bring out more detail. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So these look really good, and I have painted up our Soviet soldiers too to look more modern. Well, I mean, I guess not modern as in today, but like 1980s modern. I've done a few up with the outfit color to make it look, you know, more that green color that they would have had, and that's fun to do too. But this, we look like we're good here. We got to get his hat. I don't know what the Russians call them. I know in the military slang term for them was piss cutters. So anyways, we got our got our guy painted, and you know, there we go. We missed a spot, so we can always get in there and get that before it's too late. So we got our guy, our uniform painted, and as you can see, I kind of hit right there on the face, but it doesn't matter because that's the beauty of it. That's going to get done later. But we got everything underneath so that I don't have to worry about painting the underneath after I paint the weapon. So that's what we're going for here. So there is our base coat. And it looks pretty good so far. All right. And we're going to move on. Okay, so next we're going to do the black. We're going to get his boots real quick. Now, you have to be careful not to hit the pants. But if you hit the base, it doesn't matter because eventually we're going to put something on there. I don't know what we're going to do. You know, we could do, obviously this is a cold weather uniform that he has on, so we're not going to do, you know, grass that looks like it's in the spring. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to put snow on it, but I could. But that is something to think about. But it doesn't matter if you get any on the base because you're going to put something else on there anyways. And it'll cover all that up. So it just doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and paint the boots. Get that out of the way and over with, because that's something we can do quick and just get it out of the way. And we won't have to go back to that. And they look pretty good. Let's bring it around this way. There we go. I missed the spot. There we go. Now the boots are done. I thought about hitting that grenade black in there, but I don't know. Maybe we'll make that green. Okay. See, now, normally someone would think, well, I got the black out. I could just go ahead and paint the gun. But you'd rather do his hand first. That way, you get all that on, because you're going to get paint on that gun from his hands. And then you can come back later and hit the gun. So that is all for the black right now. Okay, let's go ahead and put that down, and we'll bring it up. Why not? Keep it right there. Clean out the brush. Okay, let's go ahead and get our dark flesh. Take a look at that. That is our dark flesh. And that is going to be next. And we're going to move down to a smaller brush on this. I'll show you. Let's see if we can get that focused. There we go. See, it's not very big. And you don't need very much flesh tone at all. So we're going to go ahead and hit all of his face. Looks good. Bring it around. Looking good. Gotta get his neck. And that, you have to be careful about the neck. That's the only bad thing. Gotta bring it up. But that's why I don't paint the hair yet, because I have to bring all that paint around the neck. Okay, and that looks good. A little bit there. There we go. That is our dark flesh tone. We're going to hit the hands real quick, and you'll see what I mean when I say we don't want to paint the weapon yet, because there, if we get it on there, it'll be okay, because we'll just go right over top of it. There we go. So now you can see we got our hand done. Both our hands done. Looks like I missed a piece on that collar. I'm going to have to go back and hit some of that outfit. So anyways, we got our first, that's our dark flesh tone, and we'll let that dry. And after it's dry, then we'll go ahead and put in some of our flesh wash, and we'll just put that over everything. We'll put it over the face, the outfit, and everything, and bring that right out. Okay. Okay, now we're going to start the flesh wash. Okay, we're going to go back to our bigger brush, get a little bit of that flesh wash, and just start putting it on. That way that soaks in all those cracks, and that'll bring that out, and then I'll highlight all of that. Now, remember, I do things a little different than other guys, because as we know, these hobbies are not cheap. So to make things last and to get the best effect I can on these guys with as little paint as I possibly have to use, I don't really go crazy with doing a lot of stuff that other guys would. Now, That's cool. That is great for them. I think a lot of the work they do is outstanding, and you should check them out too. But I try to keep things, I guess you could say, as cheap as I possibly can and affordable. So I know other guys do like 3-4 coats of different things on these outfits and on the faces and everything, and I don't. I just usually use the 3 tones on the flesh, and then on all of my outfits I usually put 1 tone down. I do some kind of a wash, whether it be the military shader. Now this flesh wash works great for the tan outfits, so that's why I use for the tan outfits. But I put the flesh wash on, and then after that I'll go back through with a lighter tone and hit it, or sometimes the same tone. But right now you can see how all that stuff is being brought out, and that looks good. Now anything I can see is I want to try to get that out of the eyes so that I can try to put eyes in. Sometimes that bubbles up in there, and then you can't really make the eyes look that great. So we'll kind of hit that a little bit better, but that looks pretty good. You can see how good that looks. All right, so that is about ready to go. Now, real quick, I think we're gonna go ahead and do some green. Now, let me put this down, but you can't really see it now. And get a little bit of green. Now that flesh wash that I just used is the Army Painter Quick Shade Flesh Wash, okay? And I use that for flesh, and I also use that for tan uniforms. I'm using some US dark green, and that is going to be for his pack and his shovel cover there. We're going to go ahead and hit those real quick. I'm still using the bigger brush. So that'll bring those out. And yeah, some of that military shader's on there. It's kind of wet, but it doesn't really matter because they're at war. Things aren't going to look like it's brand new. You know, that's just the way it is. Okay, and I'm going to hit right there. But I'm going to leave that in the center go because that's actually a tie. And we're just going to leave that go because it looks like it's rope. It's keeping it tied up. So you can see. Try to hit up in there. But see how I came out? Because if I would have had to go back in there and paint the outfit, I'd have had that stuff all over the pack and everything else. So that's why I paint the way I paint. Is canteen, it looks like. And I am going to hit that grenade. And I'm going to leave the ammo bag that tan color because that is the way it looked like theirs were. Okay. And that looks pretty good so far. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. Okay, now that that's dried up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and hit this uniform again real light, like right in there, right in there, and just kind of bring that uniform back out. And now you can see it's giving a shadow effect. Kind of brings out those creases. And I'm not hitting all of it. I'm leaving it kind of dark by the creases. That way it kind of folds in and gives it that look. You see? So you kind of you're getting it covered, but at the same time, you still have that kind of shadow effect. See? That was a little bit too much, but that's okay. But that brings it out real nice. Same with this hat. Kind of bring that out a little bit. You gotta imagine that he'd probably be sweating like crazy in that hat. So if you want to leave it a little bit darker, that's fine too. But you're just lightly doing it. You're not going crazy. But you can kind of see the effect it's given. Still kind of dirty, still has the shade in it, but it's not horrible. I think the only thing I don't like is where I messed up right there. Let's see if we can kind of throw a little bit of shader on that. Oop, bring it back into focus. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. That's all you gotta do. You fix it right up. So that is definitely looking pretty good. Put a little bit right there too. Okay, I think the next thing we're gonna do is a little bit of the brown on the weapon and his shovel. Okay, next is the brown. Bring him up. Get a little bit, and then we'll hit that stock. Careful not to get on his hands. And that looks really good. That turned out good. Now you can really get into detail with that. You can mix some red, you can put some wood grain in there. I've seen guys do that. I've actually done that myself. But if we're in a hurry to get it to the gaming table and get it ready to play, you're probably not going to worry about it unless you're going to like a big tournament and you're wanting a showpiece as well. Now, he does have a strap right there. That's the tricky part. Trying to get in there and not hit anything. And that worked out good. There's the other strap right there. That worked out pretty good. And it looks like it goes up like under his collar, so we're good. That looks excellent. We got our brown done. And wait a minute. Looks like we got a strap maybe right there too. Let's hit that. Okay. That's good. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and hit that rope. That looks pretty good. Okay. All right. That is what we have so far. It looks awesome. We're going to get a little bit in there too. And next, we're going to go ahead and hit some of that, the rest of that machine gun he's carrying. All right, and now we're going to put the gunmetal on. It kind of looks more black, and that'll look awesome. And then you can take some of that Tamiya, it looks like a powder, and you can put on there, and that looks really good. Or you can get a Sharpie, a silver Sharpie, and put it on there, and that looks outstanding as well. You can do that either way you want. So there you go. That's nice and dark. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and hit his little button there. That looks good. Don't show any of the magazine. The magazines aren't showing, so we can leave that alone. We can get by with that. Okay. Looks like the only thing besides the skin tone that has to be done is we got to put a little bit of red on there where his star is. So we're going to hurry up and do that. I got some scarlet. We're going to use that. Just get a little dab, nothing big. And then we'll just hit that star. And that just brings it out. That looks great so far. Okay, we're going to go ahead and spray that and then come back and then highlight his skin tones and then probably put some silver on that weapon. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bring that face in. We're going to do some medium flesh tone on here. Let me bring that up. Okay, probably got a little bit too much on there. Take some of that off. There we go. We're going to hit his nose. We're going to hit his forehead in two parts. And we're going to hit his cheek. Come down a little bit. His chin. His other cheek. Come down. Hit his ear. And his other ear. And then we'll go ahead and try to hit the fingers. That part of the hand, bring that down, and there we go. That starts the highlight. Now we'll have to do the eyeballs still, the hair, and then I'll hit it with one more tone of flesh, and then I'll hit the silver, and then we'll spray it one more time to doll it up a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so I painted his eyes off camera. Bringing them up. There we go. You can see. Put the whites in. Put the black in for his pupils. Can't get much more detail than that. I mean, you could, but like I said, I'm not going to go crazy with it. So we're going to put a little bit of light on here. Just a little bit to bring it out a little bit more. There. There. His chin. His face. Ears. That cheek a little bit better. Here we go. Now, we'll go for his hands. Try to bring this up a little bit better. You can see what's going on. It's a bad thing about filming with a phone. You're trying to get everything in. Sometimes it's just hard to. Okay, so highlighted the face. And there's the hands. And the only thing I gotta do, we gotta paint the hair, some eyebrows. And actually, we got a little bit of black here, so we'll just go ahead and hit that now. We'll just make his eyebrows real quick. There's that. And there's that one. So you can see that brought that out. Boy, look at that. That looks pretty good. And then we get his hair. Anything you have to be careful about is not to hit the hat, the ear, and the neck. It can be a pain, but that's the last of it. There's that one side there. That looks pretty good. Bring him around. And we'll hit this area right in here. And if you mess up, it's okay, because this is acrylic. You can always cover it or whatever you have to do. But as you can see, it looks pretty good. All right, real quick. Now, you could use, this is pretty good stuff, Tamiya Weathering Master. The silver, well, and the gunmetal work great. You can do that, or if you want, you can also use a Sharpie, a silver one. That's what we're gonna do real quick. We just kind of hit it here and there. Not too much, you know, just enough. Show a little bit of wear on it. And it might be too much, but that's okay. You can always go back over it with the black. But you kind of get the idea. That's probably too much. We'll just hit it with a little bit of black. Kind of dry brush that over that. Okay. There. That's better. So it's still there, but you can't really see it. That's a little bit better. Just a little bit up through there. Kind of gives it a wash. And there you have it. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it. And it'll be done. And we'll do a little pose with it. Okay, and there's our guy. He's sneaking through the rubble of this building, getting ready to fight some Nazis. Looking pretty good. Zoom it in a little bit. He looks great. Bring it around this way. That is awesome. Okay, that is another one finished. Looks outstanding. All right, next time, and here, next time I'm going to be painting this guy to go with him. That kind of gives you an idea of what it looked like before and what it'll look like after. So, and as always, thank a veteran, thank them for their service, and God bless.